Now we're on to part 2.
Part 2 of the Royal Rumble recap, review, whatever you want to call it.
With 2 guys, 1 belt.
With 2 guys, 1 belt. Here's the belt. That's 1 guy. That's another guy. Mountain Dew Kickstart.
I literally think we should change our name to 2 guys, 1 belt, and 1 can of Kickstart.
I got some notes here. I really wanted to break down this match. But
let's give our ranking on the match as a whole, just to start out.
Honestly, if you go back and you compare it to other Royal Rumble matches.
We got 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to go this. But we'll break it down here. We're going to start just
Break it down!
We start off the match with the first 3 entrants. The Miz and R-Truth started the match. Former partners, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought those guys do start the match. Made sense. It was a nice start up to the match. Then Bubba Ray Dudley came out.
Swerve.
Big time return. I hope we see more of Bubba Ray Dudley. Go watch our Rumble reactions and see my reaction. I was absolutely pumped. R-Truth actually got some love, got to do the 3D. The Miz gets eliminated and set up later on with Mizdow.
Yeah, so that's a good segment. 3
entrants in, and you already have a Rumble that's making sense.
Yeah.
So the next 3 we get Luke Harper at 4, Bray Wyatt at 5, and you get Kurt Axel at 6. Curtis Axel got screwed, folks.
But anyways, those 2 guys come out. Curtis Axel comes out, and then
Erick Rowan attacks him.
Yeah.
So now we have all 3 Wyatt family members in the ring.
Which is another attention grabber.
You had a thing where they all kind of 3 looked at each other. Then Rowan and Harper looked at Bray.
That was cool.
That was cool, and I hope that is foreshadowing for something in the future. Next 3 entrants we get was Boogeyman, Cara, and Zack Ryder. This was pretty much the Bray Wyatt show at this point.
Yeah, this is where dip down a little bit.
It dipped down a little bit.
Dip down.
Just a little bit, only because those 3 entrants, they're
putting in filler, people.
Had that little quick, decent mic segment. It wasn't actually.
I thought that was pretty cool. Especially as good as Bray is, and they don't give him enough mic time as it is.
True.
So. Mic time on a pay-per-view.
I feel like it could have been better. Also, it didn't help that you might was a little bit tired already. Then we go to the 10th entrant, and that was Daniel Bryan. Biggest entrant reaction of the night in terms of all 30 superstars who came out. He obviously had the biggest reaction.
Exactly.
The whole crowd was going crazy. He had a solid run through the match and ring-wise. Had a few nice spots. The part where he was kicking Rusev and Bray Wyatt back and forth, the crowd was really enjoying that. The whole interaction he had with Bray, I think the crowd was enjoying that. He did have a few spots that I was a little on about when he went through the ropes and attacked Bray. I don't really like that when that happens in Rumble matches. Stuff happens on the outside. That's me personally. And then he was eliminated before the 16th entrant came out by Bray Wyatt with the help of Rusev. He was technically eliminated by just Bray, but Bray and Rusev kind of beat him down simultaneously.
And I don't feel like it was a bad time for the elimination.
I think it was an awful. Daniel Bryan entering at 10 and get eliminated before the 16th entrance is bullshit.
But if you have Daniel Bryan main event WrestleMania again,
and
then he gets the John Cena effect.
Let's go back to our predictions. I didn't have Daniel Bryan winning.
I didn't either.
But I wanted him to look good. They were expecting, as soon as it came out, in the 10th entrant, they expect Daniel Bryan to have a solid Rumble match, be able to compete through, have a 30-minute, 35, 40-minute Rumble match, and to be over with the crowd, have some nice spots, and it didn't happen.
If everything happened the way everybody wanted it to, then there would be no point in watching the show.
We're about wrestling in whole at that point. We're not talking about this specific thing. Let's go with this route. They're in Philadelphia, one of the hottest, heated crowds in America in terms of professional wrestling. They booked Philadelphia to be at the Royal Rumble months and months and months and months and months beforehand. They knew the crowd was going to be like this. It's an ECW crowd. They knew they were going to be like this. They knew the day before that if Daniel Bryan was going to get eliminated early, the crowd was going to go ballistic. Ballistic. So what makes you think that it was okay to have the 10th entrant and he eliminated before the 16th entrant?
I still don't think it matters when you get eliminated. I think it matters.
Think it does.
I think it more matters who eliminates you. Now, if you would have been eliminated by Rusev, I would have been pissed. But he got eliminated by Bray Wyatt, who's been working his ass off for the past year, and this guy comes back for 2 weeks.
I'm not upset about Bray Wyatt eliminating him. Don't get me wrong, folks. That I'm okay with.
So Bray Wyatt's been working his ass off for the past year. And then you have...
Deserves that.
And then he deserves to eliminate Daniel
Bryan. To get that heat. Yeah, without a doubt. He deserves that heat.
He deserves it because he's working his ass off for the company, so he deserves to be rewarded by eliminating the company's top guy.
What I'm saying is you could have had literally the same exact booking all the way to 10th pick, but don't have Daniel Bryan eliminated before the 16th pick. Why couldn't he have lasted 10 minutes longer, 3 entrants longer, 5 entrants longer? The next guy that got cheered to come out was the 21st pick and was Mizdow. 22nd, Jack Swagger got booed. 24th was Kane. The next best reaction you got was 25th at Dean Ambrose.
So you're comparing...
What I'm saying is it's a timing thing. It's all a timing thing.
No, you're comparing what the Philly fans think to what I think. To what everybody else thinks.
No, what I think is, first of all, I thought 10 was a little bit too early, but we'll go ahead and just say that 10 wasn't too early. 10 was the perfect spot for him to come out of the 10th entrant. Why on earth do you have him eliminated 10 minutes in, 5 picks later? Why? First off, then you're making him look
if he goes 10 minutes later. So then Rowan comes out. Is Rowan going to eliminate him?
That would have gotten even more heat on him.
Wardrobe malfunctions for days.
So the 11th pick was Fandango, then Tyson Kidd, then Stardust, then DDP, then Rusev. The DDP return was kind of cool.
Different, something I didn't expect.
Tyson Kidd had a nice, solid in-ring performance. It was very short-lived, was doing a lot of nice stuff in the ring. Then you had Rusev coming out at 15, and the crowd reacted. You know, his entrance was good, solid in-ring. I think his whole performance as a whole was very solid. And we'll talk about how the finish happened and him hiding and whatnot later. Then Goldust came out at 16th. The Goldust-Stardust interaction. We'll definitely want to get into this. Goldust was getting some offense in and was at the ropes, and Stardust immediately tries to throw him over. What do you think about how the tag team? What is that tag team going to do in the future? Are they still going to be a team? What is it going to be?
They're going to split.
I think they're eventually going to split. We obviously heard about the news about Goldust leaving WrestleMania 31.
That's going to be the...
Well, that's still 2 months away, so there's obviously still stuff to do there.
But is it going to be Goldust versus Stardust or Goldust versus Cody Rhodes?
Now, I want Goldust versus Cody Rhodes. I thought that was the whole point of bringing Goldust back, was to make Cody Rhodes a bigger star, but
it created Stardust, which is a bigger star than. And I think we could debate on this. I actually enjoy Cody Rhodes more than I enjoy Stardust. See, I like Stardust more. I think it's more of you need those odd characters to keep it.
And he's working as a heel right now, which not a lot of people are confused by it, but he actually is a heel. He's supposed to kind of be like that troll kind of character, and hopefully they can actually get some TV time. Yeah. Then Kofi Kingston came out at 17th. His whole thing, every year he does something big.
Something crazy. It was terrible.
He just falls onto the rosebuds, and then they just put him right back into the ring.
And I don't get this at all, because they were just feuding a few on Monday, and it just didn't make sense.
Then with the 19th pick, we get the eventual winner, Roman Reigns. It was all right.
Was he booed when he came out? I don't remember that.
Yes, he was booed when he came out.
But everybody was getting booed.
If he was going to come out before Daniel, I still thought he would have gotten booed if he would have came out before
I think if he came out before Daniel, he wouldn't have gotten booed.
I think that crowd didn't want him to win at all.
I think the crowd knew he was going to win, and that's probably why they...
His in-ring performance was all right. There was a few spots. It was okay.
He didn't terribly do too much until the end.
He didn't really do. Yeah, he didn't.
He's kind of hanging out until the end.
Yeah, he just kind of did the beat up. Trying to eliminate a few guys. Performance-wise, him being the winner. I'm not saying it was the worst performance by a winner by any means. There's always Alberto Del Rio in 2011. So can't really be worse than that.
2004, never forget.
2004, we all remember that Rumble, right? Big E came out at 20, nothing impressive there. Then 21 was Mizdow. The best reaction since the elimination of Daniel Bryan. Stop right before he goes in, and here comes the Miz. Yeah. And Miz is about to take his spot. Then Rowan actually pushed Miz off. Miz lands on the ground, and then you have that moment where Mizdow was like, ring or not? We tried to make a prediction on whether or not they would break up. Obviously, It doesn't seem like they're broken up. But Mizdow, an incredible reaction. For fans like us, the Mizdow Miz thing is a big deal to me.
I think they can still go either direction with it.
They could, yeah.
Because I think
it was a few more directions they could go with it.
The angle they went with it, it's still up in the air. So they can choose to break them up, or they can choose to keep them together.
There's multiple options they could do here. They could break them up, next week. They could,
That's the best thing for their storyline.
And I'm intrigued. It's the best mid-card thing they probably got going right now. Then at 22, we had Jack Swagger At 23, we had Ryback. Ryback's performance, what do you think?
Don't even remember it.
Yeah, lucky enough, I did go back and watch the match. It was unrememberable. There's a few feed me more chants of the people,
Yeah, that's when the crowd kind of got back into it.
They were, because Ryback, people, I think some people are on the fence, and if you're not on the fence about him, you're probably like him. Then 24 was Kane. 25 was Dean Ambrose. 26 Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil got out eliminated in 4 seconds. LOL. Dean Ambrose probably had the best reaction since the Daniel Bryan elimination. Crowd was definitely behind him. Without a doubt.
Which was good. Showed some hope.
And when Dean Ambrose came out 25th, I think the crowd was starting to believe that, maybe there's another guy you can root for. Yeah. There's another guy, it's proving that it really isn't all about Daniel. It's about these young guys and about how they're going to get booked.
And again, the same thing with the Bray Wyatt thing. These guys have been working their asses off.
Without a doubt.
They deserve these good spots.
27th, we had Bad News Barrett. 28th, we had Cesaro. 29th was Big Show. And the last entrant was Dolph Ziggler. Disappointing performance by the Intercontinental Champ, Bad News Barrett.
I'm not sure why it was even in it.
I debate that too. I think there should have been probably an Intercontinental Championship match. This is almost like this Intercontinental Championship is almost coming to curse you. But these guys, they get the Intercontinental Championship on them, and they just
sit there.
What happens?
Well, at least it's not like the American belt when you're guaranteed 2 years with it. When you
right. Cesaro.
Tyson did better than Cesaro.
Tyson did way better than Cesaro. God, yeah. He had one swing in there with Dolph, which that was kind of cool. He hadn't done the swing very often, so good for him. So Dolph Ziggler came out 30, and great reaction for him. Crowd obviously was behind this guy. How he got eliminated, his future from here is it's in the air.
The way he got eliminated was definitely disappointing.
Big Show and Kane just ran rampant. And I understand what they were trying to do.
Yeah, the two big guys doing that.
What they were trying to do actually kind of made sense. They were trying to get heat on these guys and everything like that. But they did it in a way where Ambrose and Ziggler just looked like
little bitches.
Like little bitches. They just got literally, watch them, they picked him up, they each had an arm and a leg, and when they lifted him over the ring, they didn't throw him out. It wasn't like Ambrose and then
we're going to gingerly set you down. We need you for next week.
They rolled over the ropes and gently just kind of laid on the. It was like they're not even going to get eliminated in a tough way. The point was to get heat on Kane and Big Show. And like I said, maybe in their head that makes sense. And even in my head, I'm thinking it makes sense, but the execution.
That's the whole problem with the last 20 minutes of this whole Rumble. Is the execution of the way it went down.
And we can say, and I still do believe it wasn't booked that great. The booking of the ending, minus who got eliminated when, it wasn't bad on paper.
You can't blame booking for the way that it was executed.
The way that they did it, and the way they presented themselves when they did it. So the final 5 were Rusev, Big Show, Kane, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose.
The worst possible last 5 I think you could have had.
There were 3 heels, Rusev, Big Show, and Kane, and 2 faces, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, one of which, Reigns, was getting booed out the building. So at that point, you would think that it made sense. It would have got good reaction on the internet, on the crowd, from even the casual fans if Dean Ambrose would have won, correct? They were going up from that point, Dean Ambrose made the most sense.
Not necessarily the most sense, but that's what would have pleased everybody, yes.
I think that's what would have worked the best. And then again, you're looking at Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, and that's not what the WWE wants, or whether or not where the crowd wants it, it's not what the WWE wants.
But the thing I think we should focus on is how much better the crowd reaction would have been if it was Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns were the last 2. Instead of Roman Reigns and Rusev.
Talk about just Rusev lightly here. He goes and hides. I think that wasn't a good move. I think him hiding under the ring or whatever he did. We don't even know for sure where he was hiding. I think it made him look weak. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, he's smart. He crawled under the ring. But this is supposed to be your big monster Russian dude.
As soon as he gets in, he's already.
And then as soon as he gets in, go back and watch it, folks. I'm not lying about this. He doesn't get one offensive move on Roman Reigns. Rusev versus Cena. They announced it's happening for Fastlane and possibly WrestleMania.
So I'm not disappointed with that. Because I know it's not going to be a main event.
It's just there. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose.
I think the way you book it is you have them team up because they used to be brothers or whatever, and then they just stare at each other for a little bit, and then they go at it. Because even if you're a heel character you got to win the Rumble.
It's every man for themselves.
And I think the crowd would have understood that. I mean, it's not like you have to have...
I think they would have enjoyed it more if those were the final two.
Yeah.
There would have been less bitching. Even Dean got... So technically the final four was Rusev, Big Show, Kane, and Roman Reigns. 4 people.
But you have Super Roman taking out, by himself,
Big Show.
3 of the biggest guys on the roster.
Personally, I really do feel bad for Roman if he didn't get hurt last September. If he didn't get hurt last September and had 3 months to build this up to where he truly could have been the winner, it's a different ball game. It's a completely different ball game, necessarily. But he only had 4 weeks to build up to him winning the Rumble. And
again, I'm not disappointed Roman won. He's still one of my favorites.
Yeah,
but the way he won was very disappointing and could have been done better.
And he thinks it's the way he won. I think it's almost a timing thing before he even eliminates Rusev. There's some guy that came out. Now, this guy, in my personal opinion, is one of the greatest of all time. Of course, we're talking about The Rock. Comes out, gets a great reaction. Go back and watch it. Philadelphia popped. They liked it when The Rock came out.
They didn't expect it, yeah.
Because they didn't expect it. And even if they did expect it, they were hoping when he was running out that something good's going to happen. Maybe something actually will happen where we'll enjoy this. All he did was beat up Big Show and Kane. And actually, it was funny, though, because Roman Reigns eliminated them both. Then they came back in and started beating up Roman, and that's when Rock came out. So it's not even like Rock helped him eliminate him. Rock just helped him to defend Roman so Roman didn't get hurt, is all it was, I guess. Then Roman throws out Rusev, and then Rock comes back in and celebrates with Roman. The crowd then still started to boo. I'm not saying I wasn't happy that The Rock came out. I wasn't happy that The Rock is out there to try to put over Roman Reigns.
I think it was a horrible idea.
It was desperation. It was very much desperation.
Because you're pretty much bringing The Rock to Philadelphia. You're automatically assuming that Roman can't do it by himself. It's definitely
that's not the way it works.
Not trusting Roman to do it by himself, but then you're giving him the opportunity to win it all. They're sending mixed signals.
If you go back and watch, the crowd is still booing Roman even when The Rock is raising his hand.
Yeah.
If you look on his face, Roman was obviously happy to win the Rumble and everything like that, but you can tell it was not the way he imagined it.
Oh, no.
The Rock, was there, and he was happy for his cousin, but you can tell it's not the way he wanted it to happen. Rumor online was, this is just rumors, and I just want to say it because I do feel like it's important. The Rock actually, after that, did the post interview for WWE.com, immediately grabbed his bags and walked out.
Yeah. Is
Rock going to be at WrestleMania? Why did Rock come out? Was Rock just there, like I said, out of desperation to get Roman over? Is Rock will we even see Rock for the next 2 months?
He knows that it wasn't the right decision to make for Roman.
It's the way it happened.
Yeah.
And that's what we were trying to say. He predicted Roman Reigns is going to win the Rumble, folks. I even knew in the back of my mind Roman is
especially after last year.
I personally would have liked Roman to not win the Rumble, but I knew it was kind of going to happen. So if they did have it happen, it should have been done in a completely different manner and way.